Hello, dear friend. This is Rakesh here from Ukraine. So, no, I have come here with the updates for some past when Putin attacked Ukraine, invaded in Ukraine with tanks, artillery, fighter jets, and there are thousands of fighters into Ukraine. So, Ukraine has suffered a lot since I live in Ukraine. So, here, so I have my family, everything in here. We are suffering from this war. So, my motto is to only to show you the truth about the war and with this footage what's happening inside Ukraine and inside Russia and since the Russians dictator Putin doesn't allow their people to know the truth about war but through this social media we can make familiar with war how people are suffering, how Russians young men and Ukrainian young men are dying in the battlefield, their friends. Russians have more casualty, the 10 times more casualty than Ukraine, but Putin doesn't want to stop the war, doesn't want to retreat from Ukraine. Now, after 3 days or 4 days of update, Ukraine has already made significant progress in Kursk regions, and Ukraine has already demolished three main bridges. Thereafter, Russian tried to establish Penton bridge there to supply their army, but Ukraine's yesterday just destroyed this Penton bridge with Kaiser's bombs and HIMARS systems. So Russians are now actually in the just surrounded from one side in the Ukrainian border. Russian can't go there. And there now there are more than thousands of liberated very soon. We don't know the actual fightings on the battlefield, actual development because the battlefield is very dynamic and it's changing every time here. No, Putin doesn't know how to say to their Russian people. Actually, they tell actually no, Ukraine Pakrovsk region in Donetsk. When the Russian army was not successful at the Kharkiv region, Ukraine just replied short up that their several battalions were destroyed here in Kharkiv region. Then they have planned to just come across here to Donetsk region, from there to in Donbass, Pakrovsk. They want to control the whole. But nowadays there is very fierce fighting is going on in the Pakrovsk region. Russians has some advantage with high casualties with comparison to Kursk advancement of Ukrainians. Here in Russians are a lot, but Russians doesn't want to retreat army from this area. But I think in some days maybe there may be some very interesting development which we don't know. This is actually the secret in the war. This plan must be secret. When the Ukraine started this Kursk operation inside Russia, nobody knew about what Ukraine will do. Everybody knew that no, Ukraine will again counter attack near Zaporozhye front, but it was a totally opposite. No, nobody actually imagined the West in the world that Ukraine can go inside the Russian territory and give tough response to Putin's. No, Russian people don't know the war is inside their home. Actually, this is the policy of war. One people is suffering, other people one people are suffering here, Ukraine, and other on the other hand, Russia is not suffering. Their people they must suffer from there. Then they know what is the war. Then because there is a dictatorship in Russia, and Putin wants to gain something from Ukraine, just want to occupy other territory. And now it's the good scene here. Ukraine has already occupied in Kursk region. In Russia, they are not showing less information about this, but people know about actually this. No, Russians are also tired. No, some ladies I saw in some video that some Russians ladies are crying that why the sons of these oligarchs, deputies, parliamentarians, and the friends of Putin's are not going to front to fight. Why this war is only for the poor Russians? Poor Russians are killing like a place, like the cannon meat at the front, and these people are, and this it means that this war is only for the poor people. Here in Ukraine, everybody is fighting because this is the question of existence of a country. If Ukrainians will not fight, their country will not exist here in the world map. Putin will just engulf his countries of this Ukrainian people. Ukrainians have no choice other than fighting, but Russians have a lot of choice to withdraw from this territory, go to their territory. No, actually Ukraine is already controlling more than 1,400 square kilometer of area inside Kursk and making significant gain. On the opposite side, if you compare this gain to here in Donbass, Russian's army are making some gains. Actually, they are more than 2 years they have been fighting, and Putin is here in Donbass 10 years actually, and he has lost more than 8,000 tanks and artillery, everything, and armor vehicles. So many fighter jets, more than 600,000 of Russian's army have died actually here. But this war for Putin is actually holy war. This is actually today the truth about that. Ukrainian has already surrounded. Now the Putin's army been surrounded from every side, and there is no way. And desperate Russians colonels are ordering just to fight and want to supply ammunition, but they have no other choice. So there will be some more interesting news from Ukraine. Please subscribe the channel, write, comment, dear friend. We meet in the next video again.